don't tell me to shut up. Did I say please? I didn't say please. I'm thinking about adding please in there because I feel like I'm sounding a little mean.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah. I really didn't care. I just thought that might sound good. So here we are post-election.
Woohoo!
Queendom. That's for Kamala Harris. And believe it or not, let me tell you what I did today. Although I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, what I did today was I wore a green sweater and pink shoes.
Oh.
Divine 9. I had to celebrate. Giving props where they are due.
Okay.
Thank you. Exactly. It's all about sharing the love. So before we go any further, what I want to do real quick is get into my current situation.
Looks juicy.
So I have a situation where I have 5 friends, like my circle of trust. I have my best friend. I have my closest friend. I have what I call my soul sister. And then I have one who, well, actually it's 4. Oh, the 5th would be me. I have one that is a combination of all of them. But we have not spoken in about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, right?
Okay.
And I'm afraid it might be over money.
Really?
And I don't know how I feel about that.
What?
Really?
Damn!
That's what I said. Now, here's the situation. Me and this person have had this conversation numerous times over the course of our number of years of being friends. Long time, right? And I never thought it would happen between this person and me. Now, let me break down the scenario.
Okay.
So I went on a trip. Okay. Oh, he's calling now. Oh my. That's my letting me know they are open just in case I want to slide through. We got to schedule that. Please advise. I will. Anyway, so I go on this trip and this person springs for my trip, but is only going to make sure only half of some other people that I'm taking. Don't give me that side eye because it's you and my son. And so I guess maybe weeks later, maybe longer than that, he says, hey, I'm going to send you how much you owe me for the trip. I'm like, cool, no problem at all. Just let me know. And I guess maybe 2 months later, he sends it to me. Now, anybody who knows me knows I am scatterbrained all day long, right? I think I checked it, but I didn't. I didn't find out I didn't check it until all this time later, like this whole year. Because I'm thinking to myself, why haven't we spoken? We normally talk every day, thick as thieves. And every Saturday we talk for 3 hours. But we haven't spoken in over a year. So I begin to see posts on social media, of them just kind of hanging out or whatever. And I'm like, that's so odd. Like, we haven't spoken. Why haven't we spoken? That's so weird. So inch high private eye that I am, I go to my phone to check my text messages to see exactly when the last time we spoke.
Right.
I realize there's a little dot next to his name showing me I haven't checked the text message. I'm like, oh, let's check it. And it says the amount of money that they want me to pay for the trip. Now, I got no problem with that. But have you not spoken to me or called me because you think I saw it and just haven't paid?
Say what?
Yes.
I'm a little irritated by that. Because my thing is, if you think I owe you something, tell me. We have a close enough relationship that I would expect you to pick up the phone and say, hey, I sent you a text message. Did you get it? And to which I would have replied, no, I didn't. Then I would have checked it, saw the amount that I owed, and sent it to that person. But I can't help but wonder, have you been holding this against me all this time because you think I know about something that I really did not know? And just assume I'm dodging you because I don't want to pay? What? I thought we were better than that. I've known this person for 30 years.
What?
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Say what?
I'm not quite sure how I should handle it.
Yeah, it should be a situation where they should be able to communicate. Hey, man.
Well, here's the thing. They haven't communicated. So now the ball is in my court as to whether or not I want to call and be the first one to approach the situation. But do you see this right here? That Veronica knows, judgmental. This gets me in trouble all the time. I don't know how to approach and simply say, hey, how you doing?
Do it just like that.
Yeah, that was perfect.
It is. You know why? Because that person ain't here.
Well, bring it on.
That no. The energy changes. You should know that.
I understand.
You know how I am. This gets me in trouble all the time. So I know the conversation in my head, I'll practice it 1,000 times. And then as soon as I hear their voice, I'm like, first of all, woo, woo, woo. And before you know it, now we're in a whole nother area that I don't want to be.
But the thing is, in this case, you really don't know the situation. So you could actually play it cool, like, hey, what's going on?
Well, what you could
I'm a
do,
Scorpio. We don't do that.
what you could do is like, hey, friend, I am just now seeing this text message. Haven't spoken to you a while. I can still send over X amount for the trip. Again, sorry, I'm just seeing this, but are you okay? How are you?
I don't like that. Because I feel like based on our relationship, that's what I would have done.
Ooh,
And I'm very guilty of that. This is a fault. I think people should think how I think.
I think the same way.
See?
I do the same thing. I always get mad when people don't think the way I'm thinking. It's
Right.
like, it's very logical. Why can't we just be on the same plane?
Bingo. And that's what I don't understand. Maybe it's a Scorpio thing.
I think so.
Because I'm like, this is so simple.
We're too forward for people. We're
I
too
think so.
forward.
Nobody's talking to you, Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying I should forgive. But my thing is, I didn't create the offense. And in my head, I'm thinking, are we not better than that in our relationship? You've called me about everything else. Don't try to call me now. Your time is past. No. So yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm in my feelings about it because unfortunately the way that I'm built, I'm not in my feelings about it. Now I'm just quite curious.
Yeah.
And I want to know, please tell me it was something else. And guess what? I wish I could put it on something else, but this person talks to my cousin all the time. Like, it's not like they've disappeared off the face of the earth. They're active and busy. Girl, bye. That part.
What you could do,
Oh,
you could message him on Instagram or any other social media that isn't text where he sent that last message and just be like, oh, you saw something on his page. He's like, hey, how you doing?
and see what happens.
You're just like, how's it going?
I might try
Short
that.
and simple like that. Like that way, if he brings up the message, it's like, you know what? I just went and checked. I did not open that message.
Yeah, maybe that's
and
what
then
I
be
should
like,
do.
is that why we haven't talked?
Yeah,
And
like,
then what do I do
play
after
it
that?
cool.
Girl, bye.
And then you can go off and be like, I thought our friendship was better than
Yes.
that.
Because I feel like I feel like you listen, if you're gonna tell me to shut up, you gotta do it with some bow. It can't
Right.
be no.
You can't be timid about these things. It's like if you got a problem, say you got a problem.
Right. Again, I want people to think like I think,
Exactly.
but they don't want to do it. So that's my current situation. I'm stuck in the middle. Moving right along. So I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if you guys saw the story of Keke Palmer.
Which story?
It's a
about
lot.
Keke
Not the one about the
Palmer?
EBT card.
Oh, the white boy?
The white boy.
Okay.
Wait, what was
So on social media, she was all kissed up with a white dude.
Mm-hmm.
And social media let her have it.
Of course they did.
Now, here's my thing. I feel as if after all that has happened, it's 2020. We are busy as Black women. We got things to do. The last thing that I'm concerned about is who's zooming who. I don't care who you sleeping with. I don't care who your man is, who your woman is. I don't care what color they are. I personally don't care. To me, this is just my opinion, and this is not one of those things that I think everyone should think like me. Very few of them, but that is one. I am of the belief, first of all, that we should be so far past this. Like, are we still hung up on race? And if so, yeah, why? The other thing is, in my humble opinion, I don't believe because you date a white dude, you've now somehow sold out. So what? So what out? Your soul? Who holds my soul? Like, I don't understand that. And that whole thing, now you're somehow blacker than me because you only date Black dudes. I don't understand that. Now, totally different if you say to me, dating white people can be a little tricky because, and I've said this, sometimes the conversation can be a little awkward. Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult to find commonality, right? I get that. Say that. Maybe you don't like the way they cook food. Say that. But it's got to be more than because they're white.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But there are so many people who are hung up on it. And the thing is, I've had this conversation for many moons now. It is quite interesting that we as Black women, we as sisters, we get highly irritated when we see a Black successful man with a white girl on his arm. But then we tell Serena and Venus, go ahead, girl. Mm. You got tired of that. Go on. It's not a problem. Even Eve. But now they did marry millionaires, so I think that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah, they do pick and choose the billionaires. They like the billionaires.
But I don't think they pick and choose. I think that's who approached them.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people.
Oh, social media.
Yeah, they cheer for the billionaire white boys. But if you just date Zach from
yeah, but I've never seen sisters get upset as often as we get upset with Black men who date white women.
So who's the majority criticizing Kiki? Is it men or is it women?
I think it's a combination of both. And I don't know if it's because she's been so outspoken about Black Lives Matter and that kind of thing. And now somehow because you've said that, you've now elevated yourself to a point that white men should not be able to reach you.
Well, here's the thing, because I've seen that this also happened with Childish Gambino. A couple of years ago when he did that This Is America.
Yes.
And he's been with that white woman for a minute, but people just started throwing it in his face when he got all pro-Black. And I did an interview with a friend, and it's like, we as Black women love to talk about, we love our Black men, and like, oh, don't date, you shouldn't date white women. But when it comes to weird Black men, like, y'all didn't want them from the beginning. Ding, 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 ding. And so it's true. Like, now he got money. Now he's in the public eye. Y'all want him. But y'all didn't like him back when he was in high school watching anime and cartoons. But
got a point. I'll tell you this, though. I also remember very well when, what's his name? The guy with the gray eyes was giving the acceptance speech, and his parents were biracial.
The guy from Grey's Anatomy?
Yes. He caught a lot of flack when the camera flashed and showed his mom and dad. Mm-hmm. And they were like, now, how you going to be woke and your mama white? Well, first of all, how does that put you to sleep?
Right.
I think it's pretty fantastic that he came out the way that he did and his mom is white.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel like those people understand it more, because I had a biracial girl I went to school with, and her dad was very white, and they would look at her as a little Black girl and see her with this white man, and they'll be like, are you okay?
No, in fear of my life.
It's
so bizarre to me. I honestly feel that love is love is love. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't think that sometimes white men are guilty, just as I think we all are, of dating out of curiosity. I have a friend who says she's been on several dates with white dudes, and she believes that they were dating her out of curiosity.
Yes.
I've had white girls to say they wanted to find out if the rumors and the myth was true.
Yes.
It ain't true for all brothers.
Yes, it is not. It definitely is not. But that's also brings into the topic of racial fetishism.
Mm-hmm.
Black women and men. Black people as a culture were fetishized. Same as the Asian community as well. Like,
for sure.
I feel like those are the two, Asian women more specifically, and then black men and women.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I just think we have to get past it. And I've had this conversation, I can't tell you how many times. And I swear, to me, I feel like I also believe that there are times, though, that we are wrongfully blamed for caring about it when we really don't. I think there is a large percentage of professional black women who don't give a damn. You know why? Because we're busy being professional. You don't have time to care about those types of things when you're working and trying to make a name for yourself. You don't have time to worry about who's dating who and why.
Right.
The only thing you care about is, when is this check gonna clear? That part.
Yep.
I mean, that's just my 2 cents about it. So Kiki, whoever you want to love. People gonna be mad no matter what. If you get with a black dude, eventually they'll find a reason to tear that down too. So
Asian dude, Latino dude.
facts. Is there any race you would not date?
No, I'm pretty open.
Pretty open.
I'm pretty
Anybody.
open. It's all in the energy for me. It's all in the energy.
I don't believe you.
I actually had a date earlier today.
You did?
Yeah, a guy from Bangladesh.
I have so many questions, but I'll move on to you. Is there any race that you would not date?
I can't do white dudes.
No white dudes.
Not at the moment. Nope.
Not
Haven't thought about it. Don't care for it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll be, oh, he's cute.
Yeah.
He's handsome. That's it. No desire. No curiosity.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's
I'm
like, because
good.
it's a lot of work, I feel.
Yeah.
I think as colored people, it's just a lot of work that goes into dating a white guy, especially depending where they came from.
Yeah.
So it's like, you might have to explain the whole racial thing. You might have to explain maybe your family feels a certain way, and it's like, you're going to have to ease up to that. Like, you're not going to change their mind right away.
Yeah. No, I agree with that too.
But what's crazy is that for me is also, this is going to sound really racist, but to me it's all about also complexion. Because even if it's a Dominican dude, like, I don't care for it to be light skinned or even
Interesting. But I think I'm not a researcher. I've not, polled anybody to get this, but I feel like a lot of those things come from how you're socialized. I think if you grow up around people who say darker is better, lighter is bad, I think those things seep into your decision making.
Yes.
Very much in the same way as I think white people are also socialized to believe the darker, the worse it is. So I think a lot of that comes from the community that you grew up in. I'm sure some people were having those types of conversations, that light skin was bad and dark skin was good, or something that you saw.
I don't know. I mean, in my culture, they try to lighten the race. So
no, but exactly. But
like,
do you see the disdain that you say that with?
Yeah.
So for you, that's an issue. So therefore, your decisions will be based on the fact that you don't think it's a good thing to lighten your skin. You think you should be darker.
No.
So you just proved my point. You're welcome. Oh my God. So I've changed up the whole show, and I'm probably going to continue to change it up. But right now I want to go into, I haven't decided what I'm going to call this yet. So in the meantime, I'm going to call it random chatter. And that's because I'm going to pull a piece of paper from this little gorgeous jug. And I'm going to talk about and give my opinion about whatever's on the paper. And I've not seen these in advance, just so you know. I'm trying to, mix them up a little bit. But let's see what I come up with. Don't talk behind my back. I can see you. What are you doing? Why are you cutting?
No, I was saying, like, do you want the scroller to be there?
Well, I would like to be able to do my show without that interruption, and we can.
I
add
thought
that
you
later.
were looking at the thing. My bad.
No, that's was like, why is she cutting? Only I yell cut. What the hell? Okay, so is this for me? Is this a question for me? Are you sleeping with someone you love or someone you want to love you? First of all, I ain't sleeping with nobody, so we already got a problem out the gate.
It could be advice.
My advice. Well, wait a second. Is the person who is asking this? Are they like? What's the situation?
Conflicted.
Yeah, they're conflicted.
They're conflicted because they don't know if they're being loved, or they don't know if the person is just like. I'm confused by the question. Are you sleeping with someone you love? Or someone you want to love you? Oh, I kind of get it. Well, I think you'd have to first ask yourself, how good is the sex? Are you there strictly for the sex? Because that really matters a lot.
Yeah.
I think you can meet someone, you can fall in love with the facade, right? Mm-hmm. And you can fall in love with the energy and the clothes on the outside. But once they become undressed, physically and metaphorically, you might realize these clothes are not as cute as I thought they were, and neither are you. So I think it depends. What I will say is, I think everyone should go into any type of intimate relationship with your eyes wide open. The issue that I have with a lot of, I can only say women because I'm a woman, so I'm always surrounded by women, and I've had these conversations several times, and I could see it like a freaking white spot on a black wall, and that is when they say, well, I thought I could handle it. When he says, I told you we were just friends, because he really always wanted to be friends, but you thought you could throw that thing on him and he'd be like, I love you. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then that's when you end up sleeping with someone you love and you want them to love you. Mm-hmm. Got to be clear. Yes, that's love calling out. When love calls, you better answer. But the point is, I think
okay.
See, I can't.
Okay.
You just gonna abandon the show?
No,
well, I know, but what's worse, the phone ringing and it just ringing and then it stops, and we ignore it, or you get up and walk away. Yeah. I don't know which one is worse. Anyway, back to this question: are you sleeping with someone you love or someone you want to love you?
I have a theory.
What is the theory?
I have a theory about like your ability to have casual sex depends on how you lost your virginity. So if you lost your virginity in a relationship, yes, then when you try to have casual sex, it doesn't work because there are emotions attached. Because you're connecting sex to emotions because you lost it to someone that you were in a relationship with that you might have loved. But if you lost your virginity casually, like let's say like with a friend that you trusted, is different.
That could be true.
About it that way, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I buy into that totally, but I'll buy 10 cents worth of that. Mm-hmm. The other 90, I'm going to say that I think it actually depends on when you become a little bit older, and depending on what age you were when you lost your virginity. Because, I mean, damn. But I think it depends on your relationship with sex as opposed to your relationship with other people. I think that depending on, like, I think some people have the ability, like I lost my virginity in a relationship, but I can still have casual sex and be like, why are you calling me? So I think it also has a lot to do with your sense of security, your sense of self. I'm also quite the loner I am, and I do not attach myself to anything or anyone.
Same.
So, for me, little casual sex, I can do it and wonder, why are we speaking on the street? This is not where we speak.
Right.
What's going on? You're breaking the rules. But I don't think that all women are able to do that.
They're not.
I think it depends on how you go into relationships. What's been your experience with relationships? What your experience is with yourself. I think you have a lot of women who believe that they were born to be in relationships. They believe that their life is not complete unless they're in a relationship, or they will not ever be at their happiest moment until they are in a relationship, have kids, get married, and that whole nine. But then I think you have some outliers who are basically like, if all of that happens, that will be fine. If none of that happens, that's still going to be fine. I think I have a problem with the people who say one thing and do something else.
Yeah.
Men included.
Yeah. And it shows that they don't know themselves the way that they think they do.
Correct. Because that's the thing. When you meet a dude, you know already, if you know whether or not you would be able to or capable of having sex with no strings attached.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. To me, is about how I feel about the person, like at first sight. Like if I feel like I have a chance, he all right. Like I think I may like him, then I would probably not have casual sex with him. But if it's a situation where like, nah, I just want to try it. Like that's it. Like
yeah, I mean, I definitely think those things happen too. But I think sometimes you can get into a situation where you and someone are friends. You end up kind of digging them because they might be hot, and you might be like, well, shoot, we here, we got nothing but time and opportunity, you know, whatever. And then you catch feelings for them, but they don't like you.
And this is why you don't have sex with friends.
Right.
That's exactly why you don't.
I think once you have sex with a friend, it's so awkward.
Yeah.
And it's so weird.
In some situations, it can be okay. Like I've done it with a friend, and to this day, and it was like 4 or 5 years ago, to this day, we're still cool. And I was in a committed relationship afterwards and everything.
Yeah.
Still talk, still hang around.
Yeah. Again, I think that goes back to your own sense of security.
I had sex with a friend, and after that I was totally uninterested in having sex with him again.
Yeah, that happens too.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm good. We can be cool.
Yeah, but see,
that too.
I couldn't do that though. If I had sex with a friend and it was terrible, I couldn't be your friend, because if we ever argued, I'm throwing that up. Or every time I see you, I do not. This is a horrible truth about me. This is a horrible truth about me.
Yep.
I am unable to unsee, unhear anything that I've seen or done that either turned me off or made me go, I cannot unsee it. It is probably the worst thing, not the worst thing about myself, but the thing that I really hate about myself. I can't. There is a guy that I've worked with before who had dirt under his nails. His nails are clean as a whistle now. I don't give a shit. All I know is I saw his nails and they were dirty and I can't unsee them.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I know of a guy that I worked with whose breath was tart. I can never unsmell his breath.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Even after that, his breath, I couldn't unsmell it. Like if I smell it, I can never unsmell it. I don't care. His breath could be minty fresh. I don't care. All I smell is swine and slop.
Yep.
It's terrible. That's a horror. I know, but I'm working on it because Veronica says I should. But anyway, so are you sleeping with someone you love or someone you want to love you? And the other thing is, I think you can love someone that you're sleeping with and want them to love you because maybe they're not there yet.
Yeah.
I don't think people fall in love at the same time.
No.
I think it happens at separate times. So technically, we all have probably slept with someone that we love and we're hoping they love us back eventually.
Right.
I have this thing where I can't like sleep with someone I have feelings with right away.
Really?
I can't do it because it's like if I have feelings for them, I don't want the relationship to be about sex 100%. It has to be like getting to know you, and then it's like, okay, then we can jump in. But
Oh, you got the 3-month rule.
no, more like a couple days.
There you go.
More like a couple days, and then
Now I'll tell you one thing that will turn me off quickly. Incorrect grammar.
yes, yes.
Oh gosh.
Misspell words on text messages.
You mean like steak?
I can't. And it's not to say that I'm perfect, but well, you know, I'm not. But there is something about being grown that I think there are certain things that you should know. And if you don't know, you should know enough to ask someone who does.
Yeah, you should know the difference between there, and there. You should know.
You should know the difference between two, and two.
Where and where.
Then there's that. See, some people don't know that. I am the grammar police all day long. Thank you, Mama in heaven. She
Same
did that
here.
to me.
I had to stop because my friends were like, "Can you not do?" Back in college,
Doesn't
like,
it drive you
not
crazy?
do that?
I can't
And I'm
help
like,
it.
I'm sorry. Literally every single day, my mom, my aunt.
I'm the worst. I'm really bitchy in that way. You could be telling me something crazy important, and I'd be like, could you say that again? I know somebody's dying, but what we need to do is get this preposition together. Like, I'm the worst. I noticed her silence over there because her grammar is fucked.
Uh-oh.
But it's all good. Anyway, so hopefully that answered the question. I mean, at the end of the day, sleep with somebody. I don't know. Please.
There's too many uptight people in the world.
And you know why?
They just,
Because we're so uptight about sex.
let's be real about it.
We are. We're so uptight, but we're socialized that way. As a kid, you can't even say the word sex.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to even think about it. Your parents
Until you're
can
married.
hear you. And that's so unrealistic. That's not gonna happen.
Unrealistic.
And then even then, you have to pretend like you're not having sex because you don't want your parents to think that you're doing the horizontal mumble.
Horizontal mumble.
Oh my God. All right. So listen, I'm going to get out of here because I have things that I want to do. Not necessarily, but I'm going to get out of here anyway, because if this chick holds up the shut up sign one more time, and I told her not to tell me to shut up, but she's doing it anyway. So on that note, I'm going to say cheers. It's not the weekend yet, but it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. So we'll see you guys next time.